2016, that was 9 years ago, we were at the forefront of using, digital marketing as far as Google Ads and social marketing. There's a lot of people that weren't really doing that well in agriculture. So we were blowing up at the time. And I just was like, here's where our opportunity truly is.
Do you feel like you're still one of the only players?
No, there's so many people in it.
There's
everybody's using digital and social.
Right.
So it's like, now what can we do differently? Like I am constantly challenging my team, but also, thinking about how can we do things that nobody else is doing, because now everybody else is starting to catch up in what we were doing. So how can we be different?
I really think if you can do sales, like your company can survive almost anything. You have to learn all the other stuff too. But like if you're going to start a business, learn how to do sales first, because I'm telling you, it'll make the rest of your life so much easier.
And a lot of people, they don't necessarily understand how to sell, but more importantly, they don't necessarily understand how to market and how to tell their story. Because really, if there's really good marketing, the sale is just the transaction. If you have great marketing but no sales, it doesn't work. If you have great sales but no marketing, it doesn't work. And certainly a lot of companies don't know how to sell. It's because they don't listen. I think maybe that can be the title of this podcast, How to Listen Better, which I'm the worst at listening, so probably the wrong guest.
Well, that can be true if you're really good at sales.
Right.
Welcome to Minding My Business. I am so excited to have Jeremy Matuszewski on the line, which I know I just said your last name wrong. So how do we say it?
No, you did perfect. That's great. I mean, you didn't say it right, but that's the best that you've done in the last 45 minutes of practicing. So
yeah, I've literally been saying it in my mind and out loud for a while now. Jeremy is the founder of Thunderstruck, and they are just leading the crusade in the agricultural industry. And I had to have you on because I just love your company and what you're doing. And we obviously met through Strategic Coach, and I just love you. And I think that you're a great founder, and I think you're going to really help our audience. So
wow, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Right.
And you have a family business like myself, so we love that. Now you got, and correct me if I'm wrong, you got started you were in sales, right? And then you wanted to help farmers who were developing their own products be able to get visibility and be able to like market and manufacture their products. Is that correct?
Ish. I mean, I was in sales and in marketing, and I decided to start a company. So the company name is Thunderstruck Sales Marketing. And my whole thought was I wanted to start a company that could help small to medium-sized businesses market and sell their products. Wasn't thinking agriculture, wasn't thinking anything industry specific. I was thinking there's a whole bunch of companies out there that don't really know. They've got great products, but they don't know how to get them to market. And once they're to market, they don't know how to communicate them and sell them. And I was like, I can make a business out of this. Mm-hmm. And so that was I was really going to be a mercenary. I wasn't even going to have my own marketing team. I was going to use other marketing agencies to do the marketing, and I was just going to build a sales team. But as you know, that is not the rest of the story.
Right.
Everything changed. So the idea was really solid, except for nothing of what I'm doing now is at all what I planned on doing.
Oh, interesting. I love how your path can just start taking different directions once you actually start like just walking it. So take us through that.
Well, how I got into agriculture, the very first product was a product invented by two farmers, but it was in oil and gas. And basically this farmer, him and a group of people owned some pump jacks in the oil industry. And pump jacks or nodding donkeys or whatever they are, basically they're just bringing oil out of the ground. And what happens on these pump jacks, and I didn't know anything about oil and gas before this either, but there's belts that run the pump jacks. And every time it rains or anytime it gets dusty, those belts would burn off. And this farmer was like, and so this farmer owned these jacks that were constantly losing belts and then losing production. And so being a farmer, he's like, what if there's a way to put like some tension on those belts and keep them tight so they won't start slipping and burn? And so he called it the slack jack, because farmers have very clever, taking the slack out, right? Yeah, the slack jack for the pump jack. Totally cool. But so I represented slack jack for just over a year. That was the first product. And really, at the time, what had happened was there's a lady in my hometown, Winkler, Manitoba, that I had coached her kid in ball, and she had taught marketing, and she had been encouraging me like, hey, you should go out on your own. And this farmer was actually friends with her and had said, hey, I want to hire a sales guy. And she had told him, like, Jeremy's the best that I know in sales, but he's not going to work for you. He's starting his own company. You should talk to him. Maybe you can be his first client. And then she told me, hey, this guy's going to call you. Here's your chance to start a company. Maybe they'll be your first client. So she kind of like put it together.
Oh, nice.
Super cool. Yeah. Tina Lane, I mean, and she taught marketing at the local college. Like she did all of my marketing for like the first year. But, anyways, so this farmer that invented that, he then said, hey, there's this product that we put on our planter called a gauge wheel that spoked. That's really, really cool. You should talk to those farmers. I think they could use your help. And so that was like the first ag product. And just kind of it morphed from there. So like you said, I started really the only walking I did was I'm going to start a business and help people sell product. I had no idea where that path was going.
Is that when you started to niche down? Was that first customer?
No. So then the biggest customer I had in those early years, we started in 2013. In 2014, there was a fiber optic based wireless internet company, and so crazy, they had gone in and talked to the insurance company who did my insurance, and my brother-in-law runs that company. And he was like, hey, you should go talk to Jeremy, because they wanted to market and sell this new internet service. And so it was called Visp, which we helped name and helped, like, we basically brought them they had nothing. They had like 40 test customers at the time. And we ended up taking them to 1,700 customers in 3 years. And I mean, I was like,
oh, wow.
I bought vans, I had install crews, like I was full internet at the same time doing ag, at the same time doing oil and gas. So there was no niche. It really was, how do I pay my bills? How do I pay for my employees? And, and how do I try to start making some money? So there was no dialed in until really 2016 is when I was like, I want to focus in ag.
Yep.
Yeah.
And was it just like opportunities kept coming on that side, or was it just you really enjoyed it? Both?
Well, the first real ag product, like I said, was a spoked gauge wheel. And, family out of Hazel, South Dakota that had this wheel, and we really, helped them bring the Mudsmith gauge wheel and make a spoked wheel. I mean, it's probably the most common thing now. Not just there's copies of them, which is a whole nother shitty side of the business. But as people saw what we were doing with this spoked gauge wheel, more opportunities started coming our way. Other farmers started saying, hey, would you represent our product? And a local farmer and another local farmer had invented a special disc for seeding canola, and we brought them on. And so by 2016, we had a pretty good portfolio of agricultural products. Plus we were doing the internet, and I just felt like we're being pulled in too many different directions, and being in two industries was hard. And honestly, by then I'd fallen in love with agriculture, and I really wanted to be focused on something that I loved.
Were you doing sales and marketing for these companies? So when you say you took them on, you were like basically kind of getting in there and just like revamping everything and then getting them to market?
Yeah. So what happened was,
I can see that being really helpful. Sales is tough. Scaling sales is tough.
And a lot of people, they don't necessarily understand how to sell, but more importantly, they don't necessarily understand how to market and how to tell their story. Because really, if there's really good marketing, the sale is just the transaction.
Oh, I like that quote.
Yeah. And so, like I'd said at the beginning, like the first year I was trying to work with a different agency and then trying to work with another agency. And honestly, not every agency is like this, but a lot of agencies are full of just fluff and bullshit. And I decided that I needed to basically build my own marketing team, because to me, the only reason to do marketing is to generate leads through the storytelling. And if you do a good job of telling the story and you put it in front of the right people, they're going to be interested, and that should generate leads. And if you have leads come in and you train your sales team on how to ask the right questions, how to qualify, really from a helping perspective, then it's not selling. It's just writing up orders.
What do you think people get wrong when it comes to like qualifying someone?
Probably listening.
Mm.
Yeah. I would say a lot of times, and we've had to really work on this, as does everybody, but understanding the problem is probably the most important thing. And if you ask a question, then listen to the answer, because it's probably going to help you.
Do you think people like assume what the problem is and then maybe don't even get clarity on if that is the problem?
Yeah. Or they're so interested, they're so sold on their own product that they just throw up feature. I call it throwing up. It's features and benefits, and they don't actually identify if it is a problem. Because if there truly is a problem and you truly have the answer, you just have to ask the questions to be able to solve that problem.
Right.
But if you give them the answer before identifying there's a problem, it's probably your chances of success.
So that's probably where they go wrong then, is giving them the answer before you really identify the problem.
Definitely.
And you need to ask more probing questions.
For sure.
Okay. I think I just came back from a sales conference.
Oh, nice. How'd that go?
It's good. It's a mastermind I've been a part of for a few years. So everyone's talking about like setters, closers, qualifying, and QCing calls. So hearing a lot of that over the weekend.
Fun.
It's so fun.
All of the things that make the world go round.
Yeah, I really think if you can do sales, like your company can survive almost anything. Yeah, you can't you have to learn all the other stuff too, but knowing sales is I feel like they should start with that. Like if you're going to start a business, learn how to do sales first, because I'm telling you, it'll make the rest of your life so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, that is certainly, if you can't sell, it does, it's the same as the marketing. If you have great marketing but no sales, it doesn't work. If you have great sales but no marketing, it doesn't work. And certainly a lot of companies don't know how to sell, and it's because they don't listen. I think maybe that can be the title of this podcast, How to Listen Better, which I'm the worst at listening, so probably the wrong guest for
Well, that can't be true if you're really good at sales.
Right.
So when you were making the pivot to niche down, what did that transition period look like for you?
It really was getting out of the relationship that I had with the fiber optic based internet company. So it was conversations. They wanted to go into a bigger direction, and I realized that if we were going to stay involved with them, that was, I mean, at the time, I wouldn't say I was running their company, but the operations side of it and the sales, I mean, we were a big portion of that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't focus on, I mean, it wasn't my company.
Right.
Right. And at the time we had a lot of opportunity in the agricultural space. And I just thought, this is what we're really good at, is ag, and talking to farmers and helping farmers get their products to market. So let's do that.
Mm-hmm. Were you nervous transitioning at all? Was it hard to say no to new business?
I don't know. I'm too dumb to get nervous, I think.
Okay.
I just knew that was the decision. And so it was let's do that.
Mm-hmm. And it just kind of happened naturally.
Yeah. I mean, conversations with Visp, and we came to a buyout of our contract and sold our installation vans to them and all of those things. And then it was,
oh, wow. You were really handling it.
Oh, we were
you had the vans.
I own the vans. I wouldn't say I sold the people, but the people all transitioned over to working for their company. So some tech support people, some install people, we were heavily involved.
Wow.
And it didn't allow us to focus, really is what it boiled down to.
And then how long did the transition take to fully?
Oh, it was pretty quick. Once we made the decision, it was fall of 2016. And we were, I mean, once the decision, I mean, I remember exactly when the decision was made. I was talking to a buddy in Decatur, Illinois at a farm show. We were both waiting to load up our trailers after a show, and we were talking. He worked for another big company in the industry that I wanted to bring their products on, and he had just said, like, how are you going to be able to do all of this? And kind of challenged me on everything that I was trying to do. And I was like, man, he's right. I really need to focus in on what the opportunity was, because I felt like the opportunity was in agriculture. There wasn't, I mean, at that time, 2016, that was 9 years ago, we were at the forefront of using, digital marketing as far as Google ads and social marketing. There was a lot of people that weren't really doing that well in agriculture. So we were blowing up at the time. And I just was like, here's where our opportunity truly is,
right?
As opposed to running a internet company.
Do you feel like you're still one of the only players?
No, there's so many people in it.
There are.
There's a lot of, everybody's using digital and social.
Right.
So it's like, now what can we do differently? Like, I am constantly challenging my team, but also, thinking about how can we do things that nobody else is doing, because now everybody else is starting to catch up in what we were doing. So how can we be different?
And what's that thought process look like?
Rephrase the question, please.
Well, like because you're in it, right? You're in the thick of it. So it's like when you're just trying to think of like, how do I do something different? Like where are you looking? Are you looking inside your company? Are you looking outside your company?
Oh, both. And not only on the marketing side, like how can we be different that way, but also in markets, where can we be first to market? We are working with Society 22. That's something new that we haven't done before, and I don't think a lot of people are doing. So trying to...
that was smart.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Telling your client he's smart. Yeah. But, and then inside the company, one of our strengths is the team, and we're pretty talented internally. And so it's a challenge. Like, they're constantly looking at different ways. Like, what can we do differently? Where can we market? How can we tell the story differently? And so I feel pretty fortunate and pretty blessed that we've got a group that really is outside the box. We're still doing the things really well that we do really well, right, but we're not afraid to try new things.
I like that.
Yeah.
How do you spend your time with the team? How many people are on your team?
27.
Okay. So how do you spend your time? Like, are you meeting with only a few people on your team? Do you allocate your time?
So it's changed a lot. Like, strategic coach, which is how we met, has completely changed my business. It's changed my life. I mean, it's the biggest thing. But like a typical day for me, when I'm in the office and not traveling, would be I get in sometime between 7:30 and 8:30, depending on the day.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a coffee, kind of visit everybody on the team. I mean, we're all pretty tight knit, so I'll say good morning, and I don't really talk work stuff with anybody. It's just kind of like how was the weekend? What'd you do yesterday? That kind of thing. And then and you've met Lucy. She's phenomenal. My assistant. So she gives me from basically 8 till 9:30 is just whatever. So I can read, I can visit with the team.
Your free time.
Check emails. Right. 9:30, we have our sync where we kind of get on the same page for the day. And then my to-do list starts. And based on coach and whether it's a buffer day or a focus day.
Let's explain what those are.
So buffer day is where you're dealing with all of the tasks. It's basically cleanup. So they have to go before a focus day and after a focus day. And focus days are where you focus on the 3 big things that are going to move the company forward. So for me right now, that means expansion into Brazil. That means our new invention that I'm working on. Yeah. Can't talk about it. We'll see. And then it means, currently it's about combine clinics, and I've got a few small tasks in and around those things. So those are the 3 main things I'm working on, and everything else is just clean up. But yeah, the majority of my time is spent with my management team. I really try not to spend, I'm not perfect at it, but I try not to give anybody I try to stay out of the day-to-day of I think everybody likes that better too.
Everyone likes it better. I'm the same way.
Did they tell you that? Or
yes.
No? Yeah.
Morgan's very straightforward.
Yeah. I meant my team. Did my team tell you they liked it better when I just know
we're very similar. So I'm sure your team feels the same way my team does. Like nobody is happy to be having me because I'll be like, oh, I'll solve problems that don't even exist. It's very disruptive. And I've learned that. So I'm like, okay, no problem.
My goal for this quarter in this coach meeting is not to come back with any new ideas. I really want to focus on the things that we're doing right now because we've got a lot on the go. And so I want to use coach this trip to really dial in what I'm working on. Because I come here and I'm like, ooh, I want to do this.
I know, I'm the same way.
I have to. So I'm going to dial it back this week as far as new ideas. I'm going to use the tools that we learn to focus on what we're doing. And I mean, I have one-on-ones. So every Monday's a management meeting, and then Monday afternoons are one-on-ones with my management team, just catch up and problem solving. When I'm in the office, I try to take an hour a week to spend with my whole marketing team. And that's just there's no agenda. It's just, let's talk marketing. Let's answer questions. Let's brainstorm. And it's pretty cool. I would say that we had the best one we've ever had last week. And it was really cool because we have started in January, a social media guy who's been just killing it, but he never talks in these meetings. And he was just like, idea. And I was like, okay, Denixie, I'm liking this. Yeah, it was really cool.
I'm so glad you guys have a marketing team. I think that's one of the constraints I see a lot. Like I don't want to say which clients, but I have some clients. I mean, they're doing, 9-figure revenue and they don't have a marketing team.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think
you will see the constraints. It really holds you back.
Oh, and being on the same page, and marketing and sales have to work together. And if you hire an agency who doesn't understand you, doesn't understand your industry, and more importantly, doesn't understand your client, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah. And I think, CEOs and founders, they lean into like, oh, I want to trust my executives. But it's like, if your executives that you hired, even if they're they're great, if they haven't actually built a brand on both sides, from a marketing, and I also agree with the sales perspective, like you've actually taken it from scratch, their decisions are only going to reflect their experience and their ability.
Yep.
So I see that happen a lot where I see decisions being made and I'm like, that's going to hurt you, I think it's important if you don't have a marketing team, it doesn't come naturally for you, for the founder to always be involved until the marketing team is very strong, because they just don't see innovative ideas. They don't always connect the dots. They don't have that visionary brain sometimes.
I think the other big thing is there's a lot of companies out there that outsource their marketing, which is fine, but you need to have somebody internally that understands your vision, your client, that can communicate with the marketing team. Because if that doesn't happen, disaster and wasted money.
Super wasted money.
We track everything. We do things a lot differently than a lot of companies, but we're still, we're not John Deere. We're still a small company. We literally, and it's been one of our strengths is we can be very targeted with our marketing because we know it's working, because we track everything.
Yeah. We're like that on the PR side. So I think that's everything. Every decision we make is data driven so that we can, it's totally transformed the agency, because sometimes it's just so easy to layer bias in, or I think that's going to work, or
data
this isn't working, or this person, complaining about one person, but then yet maybe their press wins, tell a different story. And it's like, okay, well, just because they don't work how you like to work or how, you're presenting, totally different. So yeah, we're the same way. We're very numbers, especially Morgan, and Morgan, she's very if there's no data to back it up, but it's good because we know exactly what we need to do to get to where we're going.
Data tells the truth every time. You can't you can fudge numbers, but if you're fudging numbers, then you already got way bigger problems.
I know. You don't want to
if you take the numbers as how they are, they don't lie.
Yeah.
in every facet of the business.
What do you think founders need to, or CEOs need to be doing today, like that would really help move their business forward?
Man, join Strategic Coach. I mean, I know this isn't an advertisement for Strategic
I do
Coach.
love Strategic Coach.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us, there's no book, there's no blueprint, and it's not like I tell people all the time, Coach didn't help me write a business plan. It doesn't help me analyze my financials, but it really helps me understand what my value is, what my role is, what our value is, why a mission statement is important. All of the little things that nobody tells you, right? Even about the amount of time that you spend, where you spend your time. There's just so many things. And I mean, I was having lunch with a business owner last week, and I think he might join Coach, but he's fairly new into it. He'd been working in this business a long time. Now he's taken it over, bought out the previous owner.
Oh, wow.
And he doesn't have, and he's brilliant, so brilliant, but he doesn't have like any of this stuff that, and I was like, well, you need to do buffer day. He's like, whoa, what are you talking about?
Right.
And I think that so many business owners, we don't know how to properly run the business or run ourselves either.
Run ourselves.
Yeah. Maybe it's run ourselves. I don't know.
Yeah, that's been I think Coach is always really good. I'm a big fan of Coach too. I'm always getting my clients to sign up. And I quit all my other masterminds.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm just going to be doing Coach.
Yeah.
I was kind of mastermind out anyways, but I do believe in it. And I do think the tools that they give you while you're thinking through things do help you think differently. And I was introduced to Coach years ago. I think I was like 19 or 20 when I was introduced to Coach. So I already had a lot of the framework built in because the person that I worked for had been in Coach for years. So I was already used to running his life based on Coach. So I think I did a lot of stuff like not even thinking about
impact
it.
filter, strategy circles.
Yeah. So I think even with my thought process just naturally goes on there because it was like my first introduction to any tools like that. Yeah, I was really lucky.
Yeah.
So I really like it too because I always have to like think for me, it's like it's not that if I'm crazy everywhere and I think I'm making way more money, when I look into the numbers, I'm not. Like I'm actually burning myself out. I'm not being strategic with my time. But when I pull back a little bit and I'm more consistent, like working, a certain time in the office and then doing content and things that are like hard that I wouldn't have normally put aside so much time for, like content's a good example. And I think a lot of CEOs are like, which I love that you're doing your content, think that.
You mean like being forced to do my content? Is that what you're saying? Like
sort of like how I had to say your name.
Fair.
I'm always looking to make sure I'm like, you don't fall off. But it is such a powerful thing to be doing that in a way that, and then I look back and I'm like, oh, I've actually we're having our biggest months that we've ever had month over month, but it doesn't feel crazy, but there's room that gets opened in my mind because I'm not so busy like with the busy work and I'm not so running on fumes everywhere. And that's where I come up with like big ideas. And I think Coach is really great for making you think through that structure of it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So I think that, there's lots of different things out there. I happened upon Coach and it's been phenomenal and life-changing for me. But I think that a lot of times business owners, and even guys that have been doing it a long time, they've just continued to do things, the way they've done it, or it's been really easy. But what happens when it gets really hard? Because it doesn't seem like it ever stays really easy. It might be easy for like a week.
I know.
And then there's like, I got to deal with this.
Yeah.
But Coach has been a game changer. Having something or somebody. Yeah.
100%. I'm also an EO, which I also like a lot. But yeah, because the peaks and valleys, that was my biggest lesson that I had to, I have plenty of big lessons I've had to learn, but like one of them for sure was to like just adjust my nervous system. And I don't know if like men deal with this in the same way as like women do, but like with the business stuff, it's like my nervous system was taking such a toll because it was like, it just felt like trauma after trauma after trauma. And like, it was like my whole nervous system was on overload all the time. and learning how to like just ride those storms and knowing that like, oh, okay, well, this will happen inevitably. So
Right.
when it does, like, let's be a little more prepared for it. Let's, not have, and then when you are in those, like the peaks where things are great, that like something doesn't derail you and you don't
Right.
allow it to make you spiral. But that's something that I really had to work on, was just like leveling out my nervous system. So I wasn't so like, because
And I don't think
sometimes it
that's like a
happens.
men or
It's just a
woman
human
I think
thing.
it's just some humans have their nervous systems are wired that way and some aren't. Like for me, I don't think I don't have that
Mm-hmm.
pressure or that stress, but I certainly, one of the things I used to do is I would just work all the time, no days off, no free days. Cause that's the other part of coach is the free days,
Right.
and having free days that allow me to recharge. I mean, I didn't believe in it. What I was like, come on, like who takes a day where they don't work or don't check emails?
Yeah.
And then when you're doing it, and you've never done it, all of a sudden you take a free day and you're like, the next day you're like, oh, what about this? Or you take 2 free days in a row, and then if I get 2 free days in a row, it's like, look out, what kinds of crazy, what kind of crazy ideas are coming out now?
Yeah, you want like the dopamine hit of like a new idea.
Let's go.
I love it too.
Yeah. Dopamine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally. That's what press does. I'm always like, it never goes away whenever you like get a press win, whether it's for a client or for yourself. Like the excitement of it never goes away. Like
it's so funny because I think Hazy feels the same way because she's like, congratulations, team. And I'm like, congratulations to you, Hazy. You did all the freaking work. Like, what are you talking? Like, this is your celebration. I'm just like,
it's a win every time because it is a lot of work behind the scenes. So when you get it's like a sale. It's like you're selling. It's over and over, and that's like, so when you do get a yes, it never gets old. Like getting a yes never gets old.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it. That's the positive of it because you work so hard.
Yeah, no doubt. That's cool.
So what are the things that you're doing on your free days?
Golf. I like to golf a lot.
Oh,
so
shocker.
Yeah, shocker. I mean, the clubs are here. I'm taking a free day on Wednesday. And going
you
golfing.
are? Where are you going golfing?
I don't know. Michael's EA booked us a couple places. So
okay.
We're going 36 holes on Wednesday and we're going to golf. I don't know.
I wonder where you're going.
Rancho. I can't tell you.
Okay.
I mean, I could tell you if I had it in front of me, but so I like to golf on free days. I also like to read. I've been reading. I don't know if I'm going to hit my goal of 52 books this year, but I've been reading a lot.
What are you reading right now?
I literally just started. So I come to coach and somebody's like, oh, you got to read this book.
You got to read this one.
Book. Yeah. So Dare to Lead. I just cracked it last night.
By Brene Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't, no thoughts on that one or not yet. I just finished Walter Isaacson's book on Steve Jobs, which was phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
And I bought
that's my list.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big reader.
So good. And I just bought his book on, Benjamin Franklin and his book on Albert Einstein. So I'm super pumped to read those. They're really big books, but yeah, really inspired by Jobs and, much like I was by Elon.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you have these free days, are you coming back with like new ideas, and is your life just balanced? I hate the work-life balance concept, but like, do you feel differently in general?
I feel like I'm less wound up. So that's the other thing that happens on free days is I unwind, and that's important for me because I am pretty high strung. And if you wind up a high strung person, then, I certainly early in my career, I had a lot of people that felt I won't say the wrath, but they felt the sting of Jeremy being wound too tight. I mean, I probably wasn't the greatest boss. I didn't know how to be a boss.
Do you have a military
not to excuse
background?
it. No, not at all.
Interesting.
Super strict childhood, but no military.
Okay.
But I certainly would, and I worked 80 hours a week or 100 hours a week, so I was wound tight all the time. And one thing would happen, and I'd be like, bah!
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah. Oh, I was super intense. Now so the free days help me unwind, and I either cycle or spin every morning before work because otherwise I'm just a dick. Like,
Okay.
I can
You
feel
have
it
a
in
lot of
myself.
energy
Yeah.
that you need to get out.
I just need to be ready to go to work, or I'll golf in the morning. Sometimes I'll go play 18 holes before work, and that'll do that instead.
I started chilling out when I moved to LA.
Really? Does chilling out work? Is it a thing? I can't chill out.
I was really intense before when I lived in like New England. It was, I don't know why, just like everything felt like such a grind. Like I was working all the time, like around the clock.
Yeah.
You know, I say that to my daughters. I'm like, you remember when I was sitting here on this couch and then like you went to bed and you got up and I'm still sitting there. Like
That's how you build it. I mean,
yeah, it is how you build it.
A lot of times early on, that's how it takes that because you don't have a team.
Right. It really does. And I think that when I see people trying to start a business or do their own thing, they give up too soon, you know? And I'm like, this is just what it is in the beginning. Like, and you need to do it so that you're learning everything. And that's just my experience. And then you know, like what you're outsourcing, and then you can get smarter and you can
But
learn,
you can't afford to outsource at the beginning. You have to do it all. I mean, I honestly, I don't think I could go back and do anything necessarily different then because I couldn't afford it.
I think I could have done offshore talent if I had looked a little bit harder, because I had tried it one time in the very beginning and it was a terrible experience, but like I just didn't have the right person. So looking back on it, if I had been a little bit more strategic with that and initially, even if it was just one person, I think it would have given me a much better foundation because so much stuff would have been organized. Because even just small things like drafting an email, whatever.
If you had to go back there and sit in that exact same spot on the couch with the exact same knowledge you had at that time, you would have done probably the same thing because you don't know to be strategic back then, right?
No.
Like that's the thing. All the wisdom and the experience that we've gained, we can't necessarily I would have started coach in year one. Could you imagine if I had started coaching year one, how amazing my business and personally it would have been? But I couldn't afford it.
That's true too. But you know, I that same with me. So that's the same thing. But I can say like I should have found the money for it. I should have found the money.
I didn't even know it existed.
I didn't. Well, I did know, but I think what is missing a little bit in the entrepreneurial market is just super tactical things that are like very basic.
Right.
Like, here's how you're going to do this. Here are these like little tools you can use just so you cut through the clutter. It's not like these big, crazy, expensive ones, but just.
Maybe we should start a company. Coach Light.
Oh yeah, good. In our spare time.
Coach Light, where you get these tools for free.
Yeah, exactly.
A small subscription.
Right. But I think that would be like, because I read every book there was to read, and I had been doing that since I got pregnant, really at like 18. But it's all very inspirational, and it makes you feel very inspired to take action. But there was nothing I read that was just really super tactical, or just like, here's the basics. Like something as basic as reach out to 25 people a day.
Right.
When you're starting out, like, don't worry about anything else because it's a numbers game, and you will inevitably reach someone that is interested in talking.
Right.
Like even something as small as that, like would have helped me so much in just figuring out how to get clients, because I didn't come from a sales background. So it was kind of foreign to me, like, okay, like how do I get these people? Where do I go? And I didn't really like networking at the time. And I was in an area where networking was really hard because there wasn't really any businesses. It's kind of like a rural area. And it just like the mindsets weren't there also.
So how do you share that knowledge of just that with other business owners? Like how can you, because frankly put, there isn't anything out there just when you're starting up that helps somebody know to connect. I mean, for you, it's 25 people a day. For me, it's like, you know, if I think back to my business, when I started it, it would have been all about planning, organizational structure. Like, why is a mission statement important? Why is, you know, understanding your unique value and your unique ability? Why is that important? Like, if I could have dialed in on some of that early, I think it would have.
Is it because you had all the tactical stuff down coming, especially from sales?
No.
Because sometimes I think you get lost in the sauce with that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say all I knew is that I wasn't going to fail. I was too stupid. Like, I'm just like, I will kill myself before I fail. Or too stubborn.
Yeah.
And I mean, I knew that nobody was going to outwork me, right? Like, guaranteed I'm going to work harder than everybody. And
I fell back on that too. That's a good.
yeah, but that doesn't help you be smarter. It doesn't talk to you about if you work. I mean, I can't remember. It was like 109 days in a row once. So I was like, yeah, I worked 10 hours a day, 109. How stupid was I to think that that was
congrats.
good? Yeah, like that's great.
You're tired, strung out, like
right, yelling at people.
With me.
Yeah.
And discipline is another thing that I think is like underrated in business. Like I feel like I was not disciplined. Like some people thought I was, but a lot of people thought I was disciplined, but I was not disciplined, not in my daily life. Like I would kind of get up when I wanted to, start working when I wanted to.
Don't you do that now?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Not on minding my business.
Right.
Not on this podcast, I
Sorry,
know.
my bad. Cut that, Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, I could have a flexible schedule if I wanted to, but I do value structure. So I don't like
you have structured flexible time. Like
yes.
Because we've talked about that a little bit, your routine in the morning and stuff like that. You are very deliberate about that.
Yeah, I am.
Which is disciplined.
I had to get like that though.
Yeah. That
was something like a skill set I had to develop. And it definitely was a missing link to really, because you just want like everything tomorrow, or, I'll just be like, oh, this doesn't matter. But I really, because I can work fast too when I need to, like I can get something done like tomorrow. Like,
right.
But I didn't really value or like see, like it was like the small incremental steps all the time. It's kind of like working out. Like you're not going to just like get into shape by doing this crazy workout one day. It's the workouts every day consistently over the years that will like get you in the shape that you want.
Yep.
So I think that's something too that a lot of like people who work really hard, but they're not like very disciplined and structured in their everyday in their life.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it's discipline or consistency is the key in not only in your decision making, but in understanding. I never thought that I would you don't have to do everything today. You have to be disciplined to leave stuff for tomorrow.
I like that.
So that not so that you have something to do tomorrow, but so that you can go home, because there's always stuff to do. You can work. And I did work just forever, right? You could put 15 hours in. There's stuff that you can do, but being disciplined to understand that, hey, I need to go now and I'll come back and hit this tomorrow.
For me, it was also a coping mechanism. There's a lot of things that I wasn't dealing with that I was coping. Like, I mean, it's better to have that as a coping mechanism than something else, I suppose. But it can be as equally as like destructive. Like I did that when my kids were younger, and I do feel like I missed out on their childhood, just like working all the time, whether it was for someone else or myself. But if I could go back, I would want to like have a little bit more structure, so I was more intentional with my time. But obviously, now I get to work with them, and it's like the best situation ever.
And you wouldn't have known that at the time. Like again, you can't go back. You can't beat yourself up for early career or early business owner mistakes because you didn't know.
I was a hot mess also. So
I'm still a hot mess. What are you talking about?
So what advice do you give to parents? I know this is a big friction point, is like, it's always that for some parents, it's like the guilt of feeling like if I'm, when I'm working, I'm thinking I should be at home. When I'm at home, I'm thinking about work. Like how much is it that like because your kids are older now too.
Yep. And I have, partners and employees in the business that have kids, and the advice is pretty simple. I mean, I also spent a lot of time working and building instead of spending time with my kids. So the advice is very simple: is your family, your kids, that has to be number one. Work has to be number two. And so you have to figure out how to make that happen. And so, if we go on the road and I've got people that are away from their kids on a weekend, they're taking the next Friday off. No questions asked. You just have to take that day off.
Oh, that's really nice of you.
Well, no, it's really important for them, and a healthy home life is not something that I would say that I had. And so it's important for them to have that. So I think that I wouldn't give the advice that I would give to parents if I were to give advice. If they worked for me, is the kids are the most important, and that is reflected in our culture. If somebody has something with one of their kids that they leave for a couple hours, kindergarten orientation, or
Yeah.
anything, you only get to do that once.
Right.
But the advice that I would give actually has more to do with sports. And I mean, I was crazy when my kids were in sports. I coached everything, which isn't the bad thing. The bad thing is I watch so many people who think their kids are going to be, Michael Jordan. Well, I'll say Steph Curry, but like Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, any of the Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, oh, my kid's going to be and it's nuts right now. And how much time and energy they spend on that, and they miss everything that's happening in life around them. So I think that much like you were saying about work-life balance, what about just sport balance?
Well, there is something like there is like a lot of parents are like living through their kids, and that isn't equally like, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'll do this. It keeps us busy. It's like you think you're doing, you're like moving it forward and it's fun for them and they're developing all this stuff. But I think you're right, because I see it too. And I'm like, okay, but what about all the other skill sets? So now they only have this skill set. They only know this one little thing. So their whole life, all they know is basketball.
Right.
Or, and they're on the road. I did a lot of sports when I was younger too, and I never pushed my kids to do sports. And I wish there could have been like a little more balance with that, because I do think there is like sports do offer
so many learning lessons.
Yeah.
I think what my thought is there's so much world out there that you don't experience playing Little League.
Or any level of.
So play Little League, but don't play it all year round. Go like travel. I mean, go to different countries. Expose your kids to different things, because this world is so much bigger than what not that we think it is, because we know the world's big, but that I think the world is bigger than what we realize.
Yeah. We'll turn this into a parenting podcast. The other piece of advice I would love to get parents, if they're listening, is like, rough your kids up a little bit. Some of these like coddle.
Did you be hazy a bit?
I mean, no, but like I'm not like when I mean business, like I mean business. Like I did not hesitate. Like I'm very lenient, but if they were afraid of one parent, it was definitely me. But I think they would also say I'm more of like
everybody's afraid of their mom. Come on, the mom is always the scary one. Yeah.
I mean, but I was really lenient too. I'm a more of like a hands-off parent. I always have been. Like I didn't really get to.
So you're telling other parents that they should be rough with their kids? What do you mean
not
by
like
that?
Physically, but like stop coddling them so much, because it's so when they enter the workforce, like there's so many good qualities about a lot of these young people out of college that I'm seeing, and like, but what holds them back is like they cannot take accountability, because I can see it with their parents. They're not making them take accountability. They're not their life is so easy for them, and I don't want it to. They don't need to be stressful.
It's a North American thing, though. We're entitled.
Super entitled, but it's just like it's holding them back from their potential. And I really think that like I'm just seeing it too often. I don't know and it's not just LA, it's definitely everywhere. So that is my advice, is to just like let your kids can suffer. It's not the end of the world. Like they'll be fine. Like a little bit of trauma is not that big of a deal. Like let them live life a little bit on their own. You heard it here on Mind Your Business.
A little bit of trauma for your kids is no big deal.
Yeah, like stop like worrying so much about everything and inserting yourself. It's none of your business. If something goes wrong, let them like argue it out.
Nobody's going to listen to this and take that advice, because everybody thinks that they know how to parent.
I mean, hopefully the smart parents might think about it a little bit when they're just like coddling their kids, or they're just their kids are going to be easy.
The people
idiots.
that are coddling their kids aren't thinking that me and you talking about stop coddling your kids.
Well, I mean, mine came out great, so
you didn't coddle them.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So look at like the proof is in the pudding. I've been waiting for this proof, because not everybody agreed with my parenting when they were younger. Right. So now I'm like, now what? But yeah,
that?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Fair.
But I have a lot of I like to hire people out of college and get them fresh. But that is my like, because I do get asked questions like that a lot, like with parents who have kids that are like late teens, early 20s. And I'm like, that's really just the biggest thing, is like, they're just not allowed to live a little bit, and they're not.
Take your kids, travel, and go somewhere else where people aren't as fortunate. There's the advice, because then not only will your kids understand that not everything is the way that it is over here, but so will you. because that's certainly something that I didn't do, but you don't have to. I mean, literally a couple blocks from here, it's really sad out there.
Yeah.
And it's just by the grace of God that you're not there, I'm not there. And I think that we very much take for granted everything that we have in North America. And we don't necessarily.
Well, we don't see it enough. It's like our head is in the sand. We're in a bubble,
Totally.
especially if you live in Los Angeles. You're really in a bubble.
I don't. I'm lucky enough. I just get to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in a bubble. Even I find myself like, okay, I need to like step out of this like amazing weather and like everything's
It's
beautiful.
beautiful sunshine all the time. Yeah.
Like everyone's happy.
Right. Nobody's happy. Right.
Everyone's miserable. How did you get your kids to work with you?
I wouldn't say that I got them to work with me. When I did communicate throughout that, like, I'm building something and someday I hope you'll come work with, come work with me. But for both of the boys, they went and worked elsewhere. They went and did different things. And as opportunities at the company would come along, I'd say something to them. And so it wasn't like I don't think I begged. They'll tell you that I begged them to come work for me, but it was just like, hey, I have an opportunity here. Are you interested? And it'd be like, no. Or, I mean, for TJ, he was living in Winnipeg, so it didn't really work. When he moved home or wanted to move home with his fiance, it was like, hey, I've got an opportunity. I can use somebody. And so it's so cool. You get to do it too. It's so cool to watch them grow and to start to lead and their decision making. They two of my sons, they both have joined the management team this year, which is a whole nother level. And so they're getting exposed. The thought was like, down the road, they're going to run this. So why am I going to wait till down the road for them to start learning? Let's let them come in now and be a part of the decision making and sit in the management meetings. And it's been really cool. And my one daughter, she would tell you I've begged every time there's a position. I'm like, hey, we've got this. Hey, we've got that. And she's always like, no, Dad, I'm good. No, Dad, I'm good. And she still hasn't come. The other daughter, going to school, not really sure what she's going to do in the future. But last year she came and interned on the marketing team.
Oh, you have 4 kids?
5.
You have 5 kids?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought you had 3 for some reason.
No.
Go, Jeremy.
5. Yeah, 5. But Hannah, so she interned on the marketing team last year. And then this year she's like, hey, is there any internships? And I was like, well, not on the marketing, but on the sales side, we could, because I wanted somebody that could start reaching out to past customers and just learn how we had done, like a customer experience person.
That kind of is a little marketing-ish.
It is, but it's also sales because you're picking up the phone, you're calling people, you're having conversations. And I think that's a skill that a lot of kids don't necessarily have, is that phone communication. True. I mean, everybody can text and we can do this all day long. We communicate on our devices, but actually having a conversation. And so she's called, I don't even know how many. She's calling like 100 a week right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so that's been really cool. So I'm super lucky to have my kids as a part of it.
Yeah, it makes it like, it doesn't even feel like working. Like
still feels like work. Sometimes
life.
It's like, oh, what did you do? But
no, I love it every single day.
You have to find, like, I have to, much like when I coached, because I coached both of my sons, or 2 of my sons, quite a bit. Coached Connor a little bit, coached the girls a very little bit, but I was way harder on my kids than I was any of the other kids I was coaching. And so I'm trying to make sure I'm not at work being harder on them because they're my kids than anybody else. You don't care.
No, I don't care.
Damn it.
I'm hard on my kids. I don't care.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean, I don't even need to be anymore. They already kind of got it now. Like they're hard on themselves. Like it's already, like they took over that. They're hard on themselves.
Yeah, I bet you're hard on them. I'm going to ask them at lunch.
Yeah.
How hard's your mom?
Yeah, no, I am for sure. Don't believe me. I like that you're starting her doing those types of tasks. I think that's something that worked really well also with when they came into the business, is like, they've like, well, especially Morgan, because she's been in the business now, I think like 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So she's done every single role there is in the company, from like being my assistant to being a publicist to being on sales, like every single role, including everything. So I think that like starting them, I don't want to say at the bottom because that's not what it is, but it's like really making sure that like, yeah, one day Hazy's going to lead her own team. It'll probably happen soon, but like, how could she lead if she doesn't even know how to be a publicist?
Right.
And like, it's at the foundation of what we are and who we are. So it's like, I think that is really helpful. If you have a family business or you're looking to get your kids involved, I started getting mine involved, not even in this business, but I used to own some like retail boutiques, and they were really young, like 8 and 10, maybe a
Child
little
labor,
too young.
that's how you get your family.
I'm like,
so for all of you with a family business out there, if you have 8 and 10-year-olds, put them to work. It saves on labor. It makes you more profitable.
I mean, they didn't really work, but I would bring them in and teach them how to do inventory. And I would let them like run with it. And I would let them talk to customers if they wanted to, like the ones that I knew and they didn't have a problem.
You would force your 8-year-old to sell stuff to customers because
who
could
really
say no
good.
to an 8-year-old? Yeah, it's like a lemonade stand. That could actually be a philosophy. Lemonade stand for business owners.
Literally. But I think it helped because it's like now I'm seeing all these skill sets that they developed. And I also took them to like Forbes on Fifth when they were really young, and they worked with like the women editors there. They could care less, they had like pictures of like them at Forbes, and they're like, and they could care less. And I remember the whole time them being like, when can we leave? Can we leave? And I'm like, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I also took Morgan to like NLP training when she was young. I always was taking them out of school to do conferences and stuff, which was always a problem with the school as well.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about school systems.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
but I think all these little things is what has made the difference in who they are today and why they're able to. Morgan runs the entire company. Like, she's like the backbone of everything. Like, I'm there for sure, and I'm part of the company as well, but she's really like running the organization of it. Yeah,
definitely getting them involved young and having them involved in a lot of different aspects of it. I mean, certainly Bobby and TJ, I mean, they've done trade shows like everybody's done trade shows, and they've had to put on the miles and do all of those things like everybody else. And I think that certainly that's one of the things that as a leader, you want to make sure that your people see you leading from the front, not leading from the back. But for them in the future as leaders, nobody will be able to say, well, Bobby and TJ didn't do trade shows, right?
Right.
They didn't.
So how do you know?
Trailer.
Right.
And what do you know? I mean, and that's one of the things that I feel blessed that as I grew this, I did so many things so that nobody's going to say, well, Jeremy doesn't know what it's like to do trade shows.
Because you're like,
are you freaking kidding me? I've done 125.
Yeah, I'll do these with my eyes closed.
But I'm really lucky that people on the team have seen how we do shows. Like, I think I was telling you, or maybe we were texting about it, but the last show I was like, man, I don't even need to be here anymore. This team has got it. Like, they set it up.
Wow.
It was freaking phenomenal.
Oh, that does feel really good.
Like, okay, I'm gonna pick and choose the shows I need to go to because I don't need to be at every one because they'll handle it.
That is the best feeling ever. I feel like I had that feeling recently for the first time because we do these like media events that's just for like people in media.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go because I had pneumonia. I was like so sick. And it was a pretty big event. We had like 150, 200 people there.
Wow.
We had it here actually.
At the Fab Factory.
Yeah. They have a
Super
whole
cool
event
place.
area.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't this the best?
Yeah.
Did they give you a tour?
No, they said I could afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's really
sweet.
cool. But yeah, I was sick, so there's nothing I could do. Like, I just couldn't go, and it went so well. Like, everybody was texting me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go as far as saying that, you guys. Like, let's relax. I bring the vibe. But no, it did. Everyone was texting me pictures, and they're like, "This was the best event I've ever been to," and I was like, "Oh, that's made me feel so good." It made me feel freedom also. Like, okay, my team's got this. Like, I don't have to panic or worry.
Yeah, mental freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I need to show you how it's done, I can still do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be mistaken.
Right. That's so funny.
Well, what is like the best piece of advice that you can leave the audience with for they're an entrepreneur just looking to like, I know everyone's all about AI right now. So if there's anything you have to say about that.
I mean, I'm using my AI recording device as we do this podcast so I can train my clone, but we're not going to go into AI. The best piece of advice, honestly, it's probably a lot of coach stuff. Like one of the best that there's a few, but the who not how is a huge concept of finding people that can help you as opposed to you doing it all. Yes. I think that was big. It was funny in spin class today, which it plays into the gap and the gain, but the instructor was talking about how we try to be perfect all the time and that you don't need to be perfect, and it's really hard to achieve perfect, and so you can't beat yourself up when you're not perfect. And I think that plays into that concept of the gap and the gain. And what I mean by that, for those that don't know, is like we're constantly pushing to get somewhere. We're constantly pushing to be perfect. And the gap between where we are and where we want to go or we think we need to go is if you live in there, it's very easily to become discouraged and to, I would just say, I won't say get depressed, but to lose hope and lose sight. And if you focus on the gain from where you are and where you came from. And so I think so many business owners get so beat up and they don't necessarily, they don't celebrate. So, okay, now that we've talked through this, celebrate where you've come from. Yes. That's really it. Just celebrate where you've come from, because I think we're all achieving really cool things. And it might not be as cool. What I'm doing is probably not as cool as what you're doing. You're doing some really cool things.
So are you.
But I'm saying in my mind, in your mind, you could be looking at it and be like, man, I wish I could do what Jeremy's doing.
Right. You're always in comparison mode.
Stop comparing yourself.
Right.
Celebrate where you've come from. Right. Celebrate what you're doing and what your team's doing, and don't worry about what everybody else is doing.
That is really good advice, especially from where you came from, because it is really like you're always focused on forward and where you haven't achieved yet. And when I started implementing that, I just found that all of a sudden I got there a lot faster too. Like all of a sudden it would be like it felt like overnight sometimes. And I was like, wow, like here I am. But anytime I'm like, I'm
Fab
not
Factory.
Here.
Yeah. Here we are.
Living our best life. My advice always is to expect miracles. Just expect them, because they're going to come and they will like save you when you think that you're like falling, and something will happen. So just expect them and really believe that. And that's what's gotten me through a lot of things that I just am like, I don't have an answer to, or like the situation seems overwhelmingly too big for me to even like deal with. Just expect miracles and they'll come, and you just don't know where they're going to come from.
Okay.
And that's a wrap.
That's it.
Yeah. That's
Ryan, can we leave now? Yeah. Let us out of this room.
No, thank you so much. It was so great chat. It's always great chatting with you.
Thank you. This is like only the third one I've been on, and this is a completely different vibe than the other one. So it's my pleasure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.